Navy with a win enhances his chances of getting there, but doesn't lock anything in tonight. And we're underway. Face-off here. That's been a problem for both of these programs, too. Carson Hall and Zach Hayashi, last year's Patriot League Rookie of the Year, both missed time with injury, both healthy for this game. Hayashi has it, Navy with the first possession. Let's see about a mid-squad that comes in averaging 11.5 goals per game. And not necessarily the X's and O's early, Evan. It's the emotion. Joe Amplo, we said we spent so much energy in that matchup with Army as the Mids watched a 2-goal lead disappear in the final 3 minutes, but they come out here flying. Mac Haley circles in front and scores, and the Mids strike first.
No heavy legs out of the gate for Navy. Mac Haley just absolutely freezes Remy Reynolds behind the cage. It's almost as if Reynolds is thinking, hey, Navy's just settling into their offensive set. We're okay here. No one's going to attack. But he does not break down, and this roll has him chasing. No slide because Loyola's not set up yet. Again, we mentioned they want to run zone, but you need to have time and possession to get into your zone principles.
So Haley, with his 18th of the season, team lead in that category and a career high for him. It is now scored in 13 consecutive games. Back to the face-off, and a win there for Carson Hall. He'll speed into the zone, bounce shot and score. Greyhounds have wanted to do more in transition. How about if your Fogo gets after it?
Yeah, that'll work. And Hall is expecting a point man to pop out there for Navy and pick him up, so he has to make that pass. But very capable of making plays in transition, pushes it out the gate and picks up his first goal of the season. Force him to move it. No one does, and he makes him pay. 7
seconds after Navy takes the lead, Loyola ties it. Hall coming off a career high 17 of 23. It's 60th out of 74 Division I teams trying to manufacture some offense. Are the Hounds. Keenan Everhart, guy that's missed some time with injury. Sophomore from Carolina Beach.
The goal is to create schemes and plays to sort of have structure out of the gate in the possession and then allow the guys to play off it. More rules, if you will, for the young guys.
Brady Quinn, goal and an assist in that 21-goal outburst against Holy Cross last week. Minikis behind the back on the secondary chance, and it slides out wide. Loyola team, since they scored 24 against Bucknell 4 years ago. And now aggressiveness there for Sean Gallagher with his man down. Quinn gets back up, still 30 here on the shot clock. More impressive thing last week, see it on the screen, shooting percent, 52%. It's the best for Loyola since joining the Patriot League over a decade ago. Yard sale there, and a turnover earned by Navy.
They'll want to press out, be physical on ball. They really feel good about their 6-on-6 defense, and Loyola, as they settle in here, wants to get into that zone.
Jack Flaherty had a couple of goals, couple of assists against Army, picks up where he left off. Slams one home, 2-1 mid.
Really unfortunate for Loyola here. Stick breaks, so that forces you to have to run off the field. You can't play with a broken stick, and that allows Flaherty to just step in. I mean, he ate that cross-check right off the shoulder there. As you see, that stick falls. So that makes it an on-man rush. No one's able to slide in the moment for Loyola, and Flaherty makes him pay.
And Brady Quinn did what he had to do to get off the field and get a new piece of equipment, but it left Flaherty all alone. And Joe Amplo, again, said it probably helps that Navy, after that dramatic overtime loss at home to Army, after they look like they might have the victory.
They're moving him to midfield for this game. They feel like he's hit a bit of that rookie wall, if you will, as a freshman, as a plebe for Navy. He'll still have an impact in this game, but not at the attack position.
There's Haley coming near side, trying to feather it in front. Does, and buried. Henry Tolker pounds it home, and a multi-goal lead here for Navy.
And Tolker's the guy that's stepping in for Will Goers, the senior, provides that stability, that experience at the attack position that maybe they felt like they needed after Will Goers had a tough day against Army. But this is all about Mac Haley. He's had a fantastic start to this game. able to see Tolker, but not necessarily stare him down. Not a full no-look.
Third straight game he scored against Loyola and a big 6-goal outburst as a sophomore against the Greyhound. Navy keeps the pressure on. Haley watches that one go off Watkinson, who comes up with a much-needed stop. 20 the timer. Hurley has it now. Comes out top for Goers. Gives it up. Haley with the right hand over top of the cage.
So that's the look, Jason, that Navy will have all evening if they want it against this zone. They're going to give up. They feel good about Watkinson in cage saving those 12 to 15-yard shots. And this is all about sort of pressing out, but again, not getting beat inside.
Nick Turn. And he finds the back of the net. Just slipped inside a defender and uncorked it. And Navy, deep in the shot clock, makes it 4-1.
Mids are dialed early in this one. No emotional letdown. More impressively, no physical letdown after that loss to Army. Nick Turn with a swim, drops his stick head low, and fires it past Watkinson. Navy's rolling out of the gate. It often feels stressful for even teams like Army going into that Patriot League tournament. If you don't win out, are you going to grab one of those at-larges?
Switching it up on the draw, Sawyer Allen in there trying to create some havoc for Loyola. And it's going to work out for the Hounds. We mentioned that great shooting for Loyola last week, 52% of the win. Part of the reason they were struggling at the outset, Loyola only shot 21% in the first 9 games. That will up the number. That's Mason Cook, and that's a 4-2 game.
This is pretty. This is just good two-man lacrosse. Very similar to basketball in the sense. Pick and roll, if you will. And this is what Mason Cook does so well. So savvy. Rolls off this pick, sets his feet, balls in his stick for maybe a second or two, and then lets it fly. This is what they need to do offensively. Create two-man situations. It's more the basics, if you will, Jason. Not overly complex. Good for young guys to feel comfortable and play fast.
Guy that didn't play in the fall due to injury, Mason Cook, more confident of late and really turned it on.
When you look at so many of the freshmen and sophomores that are getting impactful minutes and showing a lot of potential, and Cook would be top among that list.
Navy inside, Carter Ash. Loyola knocks it free in transition. Chase Brody getting chased there by the short stick work of Ponzio coming back. Brady Rogoff, long stick midfielder up top. Charlie Toomey talked about him, Evan, trying to take away some of the adjacent shots, but the zone gets beat. Haley free inside, dunks it home, and it's 5-2.
Yeah, you can beat a zone with a well-placed skip pass, and that's exactly what Navy's able to do. The passing lanes are challenged by the long sticks for Loyola, but this is just well done, seeing Haley on the backside, inside roll. Doesn't panic when he gets some pressure on him, and then finishes. Next generation, Haley's the guy, the stable force in the back end.
Oh, Fischel taken down to the mix for the face-off as well. And it's going to be Loyola ball.
Yeah, we've talked a lot about Cook, good reason, but make no mistake, Matthew Minikis is the leader of this offense. He's wearing that 7 for a reason.
And finds the back of the net. Cuts it low past Daly, and Loyola brings it back to within 2.
Yeah, seems more comfortable, Minikis, dodging from up top. He's an attackman, but he's testing his matchup above the cage. Gets topside, able to run through this check with that left hand and rips it past Daly. I mentioned it briefly there. Anyone that knows, you wear 7 after Pat Spencer, that's done for a reason. This year it's been up and down. At times maybe pressing a bit much to try and make it work. It's a strong start to this game.
Second team All-Patriot League last year for Minikis, 20th goal of the year. More stress there on the face-off, the long pole of Diego Roman in there for the ground ball. Back for Seaman. Gregory had his first career hat trick in the last outing against the Crusaders of Holy Cross last week. Minikis up top, trying to get a step inside. Brady O'Day caught it, couldn't put it on frame, but the patience rewarded. Rips it home. 1-goal game.
What a feed from Minikis and finish from the freshman in Grady O'Day, along with Cook, part of the bright future for this Loyola program. And I got to say it, what he's able to do here, getting away from traffic, but then also finding that near side pipe. It's a talented sports family, and there's a lot of excitement about maybe the youngest member of the O'Day family, Brecken, class of 2034.
Loyola has to win it to keep its hopes of making the Patriot League tournament alive. And a loss wouldn't totally knock Navy out, but it certainly wouldn't make things any easier. Trying to get in the top 6 and make the upcoming Patriot League tournament. Off the turnover. Nice save there by Watkinson.
And I think they're a bit battered from it, but the confidence that would come from a win tonight would be powerful.
5 1-goal losses of the 10 defeats on the year for the Hounds, including back-to-back against Maryland and Johns Hopkins early in the campaign. And there's the equalizer. Everhart flashing in, and we're knotted up at 5.
And you can feel the confidence growing, especially offensively with this young offense. Everhart, just a sophomore, attacks his short stick matchup, never get his hands on him. And this is where Navy, they feel confident with the short stick out there on an island.
Hounds with a chance to head to the break after this opening quarter with the advantage. West steered aside by Jack Norton. In front, Minikis fires and scores. The Hounds are hot. 4 straight, and it's 6-5.
Just love the urgency in which they're attacking matchups in areas of the field. Minikis picking up his 2nd of this quarter. And this is a rarity. He's matched up with A.J. Marsh. He's one of the best defensemen, not just in the Patriot League, one of the better ones in the country, but a poor angle. And again, it's Minikis' ability to put his foot in the turf and just make one decisive move and go. And
Charlie Toomey talked about Minikis, you mentioned it before. Maybe some ill-advised shots, again, when the team was pressing, trying to find victories and success early in the season, but has it there and off the counter. Into the quarter, Navy gets the game tire. Graham Parker flashing in for his 2nd goal of the season.
I'm not sure I saw a shootout early in this game, especially with the way Navy plays defense, but we're seeing scoring off the face-off, off wings, off unsettled, and you got to pick him up. I mean, he's just running through stick checks, come with the body. Maybe just his presence has an impact here, but yeah, the power of dogs, man.
And Evan, you can see it from the way this team is playing. Again, Charlie Toomey said, look, all of our goals still intact. The message from day one was to try to win the Patriot League title as flags fly here. 3rd best in the Patriot League for Loyola, on the man up. And they get a go-ahead goal here. Halfway through. Cook out high. McGorry on the near side. Brady West lurking on the interior. Finally a bouncer there. Cook. That one definitely deflected off on the inside. Whether Daly got a piece, may have nicked the pipe too.
It's not necessarily the look you want, even though Cook's a fantastic shooter. You want to get a rotation, get this defense on a carousel.
Haberman blocked in front. Great work from Jacob Darrow to get a field block there on the shot. Inside, Haberman rings it off the crossbar. And running in to the short stick of Chad Connell. Haberman tripled in the crease. Turnover.
So what they do in the 6-on-6 translates in terms of how you rotate. You just have one less guy.
Yeah.
So you can see they're comfortable playing this style.
Lead the league, top 20 of the nation. Ponzio finding an angle. Watkinson down low to get it.
And I mentioned Chase Gregory. He's out. He'll come back. I mean, this program loves to play hard-nosed, on-ball, tough defense, cause turnover to get out and run.
They haven't been able to have a lot of that transition that they would traditionally like to have.
May need to bump that number up, but again, these are two teams that work the ball to find good opportunities and at times can play some really good defense.
Haley for Ash. Tolker on the side, tries to squeeze it in and does. Second of the opening half for Henry Tolker, and Navy jumps back on top.
And you see the difference, and this happened a couple times tonight, of the first 15 seconds of a shot clock, and that's really a period where you're vulnerable defensively if you're trying to move into your zone because it forces pressure on your communication. Everybody's got to get to their spot. You see multiple white defenders in one area of the field, and allows Tolker kind of just sneak from behind, take advantage of the numbers on his side.
Hayashi scramble against Hall. See the knee brace there for the Patriot League Rookie of the Year last year. He missed 6 games. Ponzio giving it up for Flaherty. Garza. Carter Ash trying to work past Reynolds. Runs right into Houlihan. Was trying to scoop it up. Finally, it ends up in the big stick of Watkinson. Nolan Bellotti tracked on for the first time as well for the Hounds. Cook pumps it back out for Wilbur. There's Bellotti. Cook able to get space and smash another one home.
God, that's a gorgeous shot from the freshman. And this is what Loyola needs to do. This, to me, was predicated all off of ball movement and an urgency, ball in and out of the stick, and finding one of the hottest players in the country right now in Mason Cook, who has a howitzer and a big goal for the Hounds. Making your way over there, maybe try and steal a ball that made its way to the parking lot. That's the extent of my baseball breakdown, by the way.
Well done.
I talk about structures.
Yeah, your architecture knowledge is spot on. Another control here for Navy after being seen primarily on attack for a majority of this season.
Yeah, and I love how he came in and has come in and is playing with confidence.
Tolker, another solid look under pressure, and the bouncer is wide.
That's one thing that always impresses me when you cover a Navy team. I mean, they embrace their roles about as well as any group in the country.
Ash going low, and that one seen cleanly by Watkinson.
Ten-man effective A.J. Marsh. He's your...
Gives it up. Tolker. Watkinson comes up with another beauty.
Good timeout.
Yeah. Pinicus knifes inside. Cook left alone. Midsection save for Daly. Rebound chance. That one may have gone off the pipe. Oh, Chapman. Heady play to chip it back to a teammate. Shot clock not a factor here. Tail end of the quarter for the Hounds.
Yeah, you want to hold for the last one. Probably take it down to 13 seconds before you really test it.
They'll score earlier than that. Minikis saw something his eye liked, and he buries it.
Minikis had other plans. This is just a great play out of the timeout from Mark Van Arsdale, offensive coordinator for Loyola, to get Minikis a quality look with his left hand coming to the middle of the field. And he's had one of his better first halves of the season. You see the tail end of this play, just getting to the middle of the field, more net to shoot for, but he gets this look off of the ball movement, and then you see that screen, comes off it, gets an edge on his defender.
Face off to start the third. About ready to go here in Baltimore. And two teams fighting to ensure they can work their way into the Patriot League tournament. A win helps the cause of both drastically tonight. Jack Norton with a key ground ball to start things off here. Minikis with the last of his 3 to put Loyola in front into this third quarter. Ash back out high for Garza. Goes low and gets it home.
And this is the look that Navy's had all night against this Loyola zone. It puts a lot of pressure on Max Watkinson. What Navy does well with this possession is they force a slight rotation. That gives Garza a good shooting window. You see Watkinson at the end of this play tap his chest. He knows part of the deal with running this zone is they're giving up that shot.
And we have our 5th tie of the game to go along with 3 lead changes. On the scramble, Hayashi comes away with it.
Navy's just built different in those moments, in a lot of ways. In those 50-50, those scrum situations, identity being ground ball play. And you've seen that because it's not as if Hayashi or Shadowins have won everything clean.
Bounced out in front of Watkinson. Goers there near the edge of the crease. And it's going to belong to Loyola.
Look out.
Flag coming up. Again, a challenging, clear scenario there for Loyola.
So it's a push with possession. And this is a credit. Jacob Sullivan.
Now both come out in front. Cook serves it behind for Brady West. McGorry up top. He'll wind, fire. Daly had it all the way. Good vision there for save number 9 of the night for the Navy goalie. Ponzio badgered by Duma. Flaherty thinking about it. Wheels inside. Lost possession.
Yeah, you got to know against this zone. You go inside. It may look like there's one defender there. It's about to be really all 6 on you. It's like a Venus flytrap. They want to attract you in and then just completely shut the door on you.
Joe Houlihan having himself a fine evening. A couple of caused turnovers. Big stick here at the midfield line. The hit authored by Graham Parker. Quinn. Tracked by Gallagher. Nice leave and an opening for Luke Murphy, and he doesn't miss. Loyola 9-8.
We saw this goal, this play, the set, if you will, early in the game. It led to a Mason Cook goal. It's that pick and roll. 2 defenders collapse on Minikis because he has 3 goals in this game, and it leaves a great opportunity for Murphy, just rolling off, hands-free, and able to sneak that near side. Not much net to shoot for. Pop, pick and roll, and Loyola's done that well tonight.
Almost assignment offense for Loyola to get goals. And they've delivered 9 on this night.
We talked about the emotions of that Army game just 6 days ago, but trust me, it's physical too. There's some ramifications, tired legs defensively going into OT that could show themselves late in this game.
Minikis goes low again. Score number 4 for Loyola's top goal getter, Matthew Minikis.
That's where fail clears are brutal. You do everything you need to do defensively, then you give that offense a second opportunity. And Minikis has been the man in this one, continually finding opportunities in front of the cage with his left. They got to find 7 and white off ball.
In scramble mode, but is able to retreat. Ash, couple of assists tonight. Garza loads it up. Watkinson has to come back for the secondary rebound and drilled.
That's goalie interference, even though he got decked into his own guy.
In top 2 of the regular season, get the automatic buys to the semifinal round. Another attempt there for Loyola. Daly may have gotten a piece. Thanks his pipe as well to the near side. O'Day has one of the tallies for the Hounds tonight. Chad Connolly trying to push him out further. Hands free. A missile off the crossbar there from Everhart. And a flag down.
Cook, 51-31 in white.
So he keeps it cooking. Minikis, nice pass in the edge and the put away. Great vision, and Brady West pops it home.
Wow, this is as good a feed as you will see this season in the college game. Minikis, fresh off the sideline, dealing with the cramps. And this is just on a rope, and a bit of a no-look, too. Just sneaks it through. Complete skip pass, cuts through the entire defense, and the ability to catch and finish without falling into that crease.
7-77, and nothing lucky about that. That was all skill on both ends. What a sweet feed, and the finish in tight quarters there for West. And Loyola now with a 3-goal advantage.
And Cook doing work.
In 7+ minutes without a score for the Mids. Everhart comes in again. Daly able to snare that high. Try to work around the long pole of Diego Roman at the top of the zone. Sullivan flashing over. They go behind, out in front. Tolker trying to load it up.
Ball's got to get through Exmoor, too. Now only 9 seconds.
Haley. Nick Turk gets a step. Body save there for Watkinson at the end of the 3rd quarter.
Really going back into the 2nd quarter has been a big part of it as well.
Minikis has had a monster night. 4 goals, 3 assists. Crashing again after the face-off. Near the line. And it's controlled by the Mids. Good ground ball there for Sean Gallagher. Momentarily thrown back away by Navy.
That's turnover number 12.
Loyola with a chance to make this a 4-goal advantage. Haberman blew a tire there. Looked like he lost his footing as Connolly knocked him down on the flag coming up.
That could be, I mean, it is a tough call for Navy. They're going to be down a man. Might just be for 30 unless they thought he was high.
Daly able to cover up, and we'll see about the call. But again, looks like it's going to be on Connolly coming in. But it's unfortunate. It looks like Haberman's already going down.
This is one of those resembles we talk about in football all the time. Secondary member, DBs coming in to hit a wide receiver, ball carrier, and they go low, and then you just kind of are so caught in your position.
Major moment here for Loyola.
Get stacked goals.
And hard bounce off O'Day. Darrow can't control it. Navy finally does. It's Marsh. Haley whips it. Ash cutting through. Double team. Trying to deal it back to Haley, and does one-handed. Houlihan's been constant pressure tonight. Ash on the quick stick in front, scores.
Navy's thinking, finally, we don't have to deal with that zone. We can just play a little 6-on-6 or at times 6-on-5 or down a man, and they look much more comfortable, a little bit more free-flowing. Ash, the beneficiary of a fantastic feed from Haley, much like Minikis. It's been like the older guys in this one, Jason, that have just played at another level, putting guys in great positions. An important goal for Navy as they try and get back in this game.
Number 16 of the year for Ash, 3rd on the Navy team in that category. Hayashi with a key win. Pass high, Ash able to keep it in play, but right to Houlihan. He's under duress near the edge, and he stepped out.
nerves, but also the emotion of desperation for Loyola is a real factor down the stretch here. To not even qualify for a Patriot League tournament would be another level of disappointment for this program.
Toker trying to jump through the crease, flag coming up. Flaherty back for Ponzio. Flaherty to goal line extended. Ash is there. Back-to-back tallies for him, and it's a 1-goal game.
Ash is really slick. He kind of quietly finds holes in the defense. Did it on a 6-on-6 unsettled, and here he takes advantage, kind of creeps from behind. Look, you're down a man, you're in a challenging spot. You got to hug that pipe and be playing a little bit more inside out. The 2-goal run here has them right back in it.
Creeping inside, Flaherty with the assist. Ash now is 18 on the year. And Navy, after going scoreless for 17+ minutes, gets 2 goals in a little over a minute. Quinn spinning away from trouble.
Cook's been quiet. Love to give him a look.
Now, Henry Haberman, he's shouting his name into the scoring column with a rip from distance. 12-10.
Shot this one with confidence. And much like some of the other quality looks for this Loyola offense, ball was hot. You saw 2 defenders out of position. Gives Haberman a step-down opportunity. See how he steps into it, plants that left leg into the turf. I think Loyola likes to keep it a little bit tighter in terms of depth. They'd love to get some role players here and there, but they like to have maybe a starting 3, maybe a 4th attackman here and there, and then 2 strong midi lines they can count on.
Bouncer through. Haberman hot. Back-to-back. Back to a 3-goal lead.
Where'd Henry Haberman come from? Got into him here in the 4th quarter. He's making plays up top, and look, they need this because Minikis, even though he's back out there, he's been dealing with the cramps. That's going to impact his explosion, his change of direction. Haberman getting to his left and almost seems to catch Daly off guard. A big part of that was Jack Ponzio, and he's been quiet. We touched on incredible stories, made a couple of plays off the ground, but they need him to be a scoring threat.
He has it there, whipped it hard, but Watkinson again handling that shot from distance against the zone.
Like every possession down the stretch here, critical for Navy. 6 minutes, plenty of time, but the way they've struggled against this zone, that time will shrink.
In front, saved there by Watkinson, and able to smother it.
That's his best save of the game, and one that he had to make right in front. A lot of what he's seen has been rubber from the outside against this zone. That time, Navy had a great look out of that timeout. The 10-man, can they put it in? They do.
From distance, buried by Loyola. Navy has to get possessions, and it gives up the goal, and that's Bruno Chapman able to score from across the midfield stripe.
This has been part of Navy's plan all game long, so not a situation where they're down 3 and they feel like they need to go to the 10-man. As we know, 10-man means you pull your goalie out. It gives you an extra defender up near the midline so you can cause a turnover, cause confusion. Gets what I feel confidently is probably the longest goal of his lacrosse career.
Yeah, it wasn't quite from his home on the West Coast, but the sophomore from San Francisco, California, out of St. Ignatius, making a long-distance dedication to the back of the net. Hear the calls from the Loyola sideline. Cook ready to get to work, tracking in front, spinning away. Extra pass, perfection for Loyola. Minikis gets his 5th of the night.
Navy defense gets overextended here, chasing a bit late in the shot clock, trying to make something happen on the defensive end. Minikis clearly still working his way back. He didn't have to move much for that one. He just parked himself on that pipe, and he was the benefactor of quality ball movements.
And maybe keep those dreams alive of making it to or through to the Patriot League postseason. Good control there for Dumont. Loyola's got it back one more time.
And if this offense can play with this level of efficiency and, as I say, at a turnover and urgency, they can be dangerous next week against Army.
Turned over. And credit Loyola. Again, there have been some violations in there, but still credit the wins for the Hounds. 16 of 29 to Carson Hall and the group. He's won 15 of 27 after Hayashi and Colin Shadowins had the upper hand early on. And they've got another! Oh! That one from Brady West.
And 9-year-old squad's going to have me doing shooting drills from midfield this weekend. Unreal. I've never seen 2 goals from midfield in one game. We've been doing this for a minute. West, it's a carbon copy. Flip the field from Chapman. They've been given the green light, and they're feeling it.
Ponzio thought about it, hesitated, taken away. Chase Brody, and how about Watkinson on the doorstep, stuffing Haley.
He's been huge in this fourth quarter. That one matches another great stop he had in the previous possession. Here we go. Finally, Navy gets somebody in the net.
11 saves for Watkinson on the night. Haley ahead for Ash, flying in, what a goal! Give Carter Ash a fourth quarter hat trick. He's got all the finishes for Navy in this quarter.
This was gorgeous athleticism on display from Ash. End-to-end action here. Able to corral a high pass and then elude a defender almost as he's in midair and puts it past Watkinson high. Look, who am I to say don't go for it after they've scored 2 from midfield? But as you look at this clock and it's 2:40 to go.
Flag coming down off the hit at midfield from Seaman.
Let's take another look here. Definitely worthy of a penalty. Uses that shoulder and elbow, but he's also drawing some of the shoulder on his way to the head. Excuse me, up a minute.
Emplo still hot. Has been for a good chunk of this second half. In front, save Watkinson. A 12-stop night for the junior goalie. Big ride from Navy. Ground ball Gallagher. He has it pried free. Big hit there from Everhart. Loyola grabs it back. A man down, under 2 minutes left. Keep away time here for the Hounds.
They're getting rewarded for it because the way they've played in this game, as they now have to continue to deal with this man advantage for Navy, showing a lot of heart.
And in front, another pickoff. Houlihan's been phenomenal in this game. Make it 3 caused turnovers and 3 ground balls tonight for the senior from Bayshore, New York.
And I can't say enough about just the defense for Loyola. Both these coaches who made the point, they, one, are good friends, but 2 of the more passionate sideline presence.
Sent down the field, and the Hounds will throw it up to the air in celebration. A team that was beaten 9 9 straight times to start the campaign, has won 3 of 4, and has life of trying to get to the Patriot League postseason.